Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to go over how to use our Brain Care for Kids activity books. We're really excited to film this video. And before we get started, we are going to introduce ourselves. So my name is Karina. I work as a Self-Healing Communities Coordinator, and I'm a recent graduate in neuroscience and theology from the University of Notre Dame.
Hello, my name is Jane. I am also a recent grad from the University of Notre Dame. I graduated in neuroscience and behavior in May, and I'm now a near-P science intern.
Hi everyone, my name is Tom. I'm a current senior at the University of Notre Dame studying neuroscience, and I'm also a near-P science intern with Jane.
So before we begin, a little bit about who we are. The Self-Healing Communities of Greater Michiana's mission is to nurture personal and community well-being through the neuroscience of human resilience and the celebration of our collective strengths. We always like to say that we're grateful that we are not pioneers in this work, that the work of our movement is rooted in decades of research and evidence coming out of the state of Washington. The state of Washington developed the self-healing communities model, which directed investing in direct services to address issues, to investing in people and investing in the strengths of communities. And after 10 to 20 years of using this model, they saw amazing benefits in community well-being. And our work in self-healing communities would not be done without the partnership of the University of Notre Dame and the financial support of Beacon Community Impact. The goal of Self-Healing Communities of Greater Michiana is to teach everyone in our community to take care of themselves and each other in a way that prioritizes caring for the nervous system. And our vision is to increase protective factors throughout the region, especially increasing the amount of people who have 1 to 2 caring adults in their life. Because in the original research, they saw that adults who have 2 or more people to rely on are 94% less likely to report being depressed all or most of the past month, or are 53% less likely to have insulin-dependent diabetes. So it really just shows the importance and the power of having caring and meaningful relationships. The 3 domains of our self-healing communities is to increase protective factors by investing in high-quality adult-child relationships and high-quality adult-adult relationships, because we never grow out of our need for each other and for relationships. The second domain is to build resilience out of the fields of neuroscience, epigenetics, adverse childhood experiences, resilience, and protective factors. And our third domain is to support community engagement by bringing people together to celebrate each other and provide positive experiences and resources for the community. And these activity books could not have been done without the partnership with the ACEs Indiana Coalition. The ACEs Indiana Coalition is dedicated to growing awareness on adverse childhood experiences and building self-healing communities. If you're interested in learning more about the ACEs Indiana Coalition, check out this video description to find the link to their website.
Before we get into the brain care activity books, we wanted to introduce another resource that Self-Healing Communities has made, the Brain Care for Primary Caregivers. This book goes much more into detail in how you can show up for your kiddo in the way that their nervous system expects. So if you want to learn more about this, you can check our description of this video and find this resource. Okay, so our brain care book is based off of these 6 brain care tips, which is a suite of resources that we have created at Self-Healing Communities. These tips are rest up, listen to your body, nourish your brain, exercise your body and brain, find friends to foster resilience, and practice gratitude. So all 6 of these tips are deeply rooted in neuroscience and help us to care for our body and brain in the way that our nervous system expects. So the brain care activity books are directly translated from these brain care tips into language that kiddos can understand, so we can start to incorporate this language and these habits early on. So there's an introduction to the nervous system and then one book for each brain care tip. Get some rest, listen to your body, mix up your food, move around, spend time with loved ones, and say thank you. So these brain care activity books were made with the intention for kids of an elementary school age to read them with a caregiver or an older trusted adult, but they really can be read by anyone.
To accompany us on this journey, our group had a lot of fun creating the Brainy Bunch, which consists of 6 characters: Maria, Kai, Sarah, James, Naomi, and Jax. And we created them to help the children be able to relate to the books a little bit more. And the next couple slides, this first one is an example of from our food book, Mix Up Your Foods. And so we have like a coloring activity for the children to do. And we have other interactive activities like circle all of the food groups. And then it also, in the bottom left, you see a slide that just allows the kids to learn about neuroscience in various ways. And then this slide is again representing the same thing, where you will help the child to interpret the information, the neuroscience, and go through it with them. And then they can have an interactive activity where they get to draw, or some component where they can, where you can help them to go and learn the neuroscience from an interactive way.
So as you're going through this book with your kid, there is one caregiver tip. So that's the yellow bubble at the bottom in each book that can help you to intentionally interact with the book with your kiddo. So for example, here, it helps you to practice this technique with your child in a very intentional way. So these books are really intended to be completed with an older and trusted adult for you to sit down, answer questions, reflect, discuss this book together. So why is this so important? Neuroscience actually helps us to answer this question, and we're going to go more in depth. So serve and return is one of the reasons why going through this book with your kiddo is so important. This term serve and return is a neuroscience phrase that is used to describe the interactions between a caregiver and their child. So if we think of the analogy of ping pong or tennis, it helps us to understand this term. So if the child is the one that serves with a behavior, the adult is the one who returns that ball and responds to this child's behavior. So serve and return is really necessary for healthy development of the nervous system. Our nervous system is responsible for taking anything that we see, hear, touch, taste, feel, so all of our senses, and translating that into a message that we can understand. So for example, having the feeling of being hungry, being able to understand, okay, that's me needing food right now. So when a younger person goes through this book with an older trusted adult, they are actually practicing this serve and return. So they are learning how to understand those messages, those sensory messages, and connecting them in a way that the body can understand. And this strengthens the brain. So really talking through these reflection questions, asking questions, being intentional with how you interact with the book can really help to set up this brain for success. Serve and return also builds healthy attachment, and Tom will go further into detail.
So just like we might have bad days at work or school or at home, children can often experience the same exact thing. So they might have troubles at school, they might be scared of trying something new. So these are the times when it is the most important for us to be there for them. We can help turn their troubles and let them know that they have a safe environment to come home to. And so this consistency and always being there for them is what allows us to form these stable attachment bonds with the children. So what is an attachment bond? They essentially, it's our connection that we have to to the children that allow them to feel safe. And so they're incredibly important for a person's development far beyond their childhood years. So they can help them build emotional regulation skills. They can help build their interpersonal skills as well as form friendships at school. And these healthy attachments help to buffer against stress. These safe and trusting relationships are an essential factor for building resilience in children. So, what is resilience? Resilience is the ability to respond to present and future challenges in sustainable and effective ways. It's the ability to not get stuck and to be able to bounce forward after stress and adversity. And ultimately, resilience is what allows us to live a flourishing life.
So, Tom and Jane just went over the amazing benefits of working on these activity books with a trusted adult. Again, these books were really intended for a caregiver and a younger person to work on them together. They're not intended to hand the activity book to the younger kiddo and put them in the corner and have them complete it by themselves. It is really this building of relationship. And so, the three main parts of why it's so beneficial to work on those together is that serve and return allows for healthy brain development. Strong attachment bonds build important skills such as emotional regulation and relationship building, and trusting relationships buffer against stress and help children develop resilience. How amazing it is to know all of these benefits take place just when you sit down and work on this together. And we just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. We're so excited for you guys to use these activity books, and we hope you have just as much fun as we did making them. Thanks.